Hey guys, welcome back. I am Wika and welcome to my channel Unity with Wika. So today I am going to teach you how to spawn a player from one scene to another scene. So this method will be useful for player spawning when you enter a door, and if you want to spawn that player in another scene with another room, you can use this method. So let's get started, and I'll show you what I'm going to do here, and after that we'll jump into the tutorial. This is main menu, and we have loaded in our uh, first room, and let's go inside and go to room number 2, and yeah, we are in the top, on the top of the roof. Spawned there as we expected. So first of all, you need to make a project. So I create player spawn. So project is now loaded, and here we have one scene. So I rename this scene as initial scene. So let's say first scene. Sorry, I need to I will remove this space and reload this scene, and I need some other scene as well, and let's say level 1. Okay, let's say room 1. Sorry, room 1, and I create another scene called room 2. So what I'm going to do is, after automatically loading from scene 1 to scene room 1, which is the initial game level, and after that we are going to room number 2 by entering some kind of door. So here in the first scene, I need to create a script to load this second scene. Before that, we will add those scenes to our project settings. So build settings, and this is the first scene, and room 2 is the second scene, and room 2 is the third scene, and those indexes are 0, 1 and 2. So for clarity, I'll create a folder called script, and I create our first script called game loader. In this script, we are going to do nothing but just load the first room, which is our first game scene. Here I to load the scenes, I use Unity scene management using Unity engine dot scene management, and in the start function I create load game function, and let's create that function first. So after loading the first scene, which is the, let's say, main menu, and after that, after 3 seconds, I'm going to load my first room, which is the game scene. So I enumerate a load game, yield return, wait 4 seconds, let's say 3, and we need to put one other keyword, new, wait for seconds 3, and scene manager dot load scene 1. So I'm going to attach this initial scene load script to our main camera. So main camera will be automatically loaded, and after 3 seconds this will load the second scene. Here I will create some canvas and add some text here, then you can easily identify this is first scene or initial scene. Okay, so So here I put this text as main menu. Okay, now let's play this scene and some errors. What is saying? Some errors has to be fixed. Okay, so here definitely error. So I need to call this enumerator function by start coroutine keyword. So now it's fine, and let's play. So some other scene has loaded, and we need to move this to the center, of course. And I'll keep this auto size as well and change the color to black. And in the canvas I'm going to add the panel as well, then you can easily see what I'm going to do here. So yep, in the panel, yeah. So now our scene is nice, and let's go to the scene number 2, which is the room 1, and I need to import some Unity starter assets. So here I go to asset package manager, and I'm going to add Unity starter pack assets. So I'm going to my assets. I have already downloaded those assets, and for now I'll show you how, if you haven't downloaded those assets, I'll show you how to download it. Go to Unity asset store and go inside. If you don't have an account, please create a new account, and then you have to do is search starter Unity starter assets. Then what you have to do is just download this the first person or third person controller. So here I'm downloading first person controller. So I'm going to import this asset pack, and I do import. So starter asset pack has loaded, and they asked to switch the Unity input system, and I say yes, and importing some other assets as well. So after that, Unity is going to restart Unity for some reason. After reloading the project, let's close this one and go to tools, starter assets, and click on reset first person controller. Okay, so in this playground scene we have the environment, and so I just copy this thing from here to this scene, then I remove the scene. So after hit on play, we can work on our new scene like this, and so we can say that our scene is working without any issue. Then I recommend you to remove this player follow camera, or else what you can do is copy this component and paste this into here like this, to the player camera root, and just now remove this component, and here we have to tag the player camera root. If it haven't tagged automatically, what you have to do is just copy and just drag this player camera root component to this follow place. So let's try to play this again, so we can play our game without any issue. So it's working as it is. So now we start scripting, and let's create a script called spawn manager, and go inside spawn manager script. And in this script it is responsible for spawning player from one scene to another scene with desired location. So I created the script, and I will explain step one by one. So the script spawn manager script will be a singleton instance. So I created public static spawn manager instance to a singleton, and created other related singleton related things in inside a wake function. And we need public game object, which is the player, and this player will be spawned using this spawn manager script. And there is a private transform default point, and we can set the default transform point. And there is a private boolean to set the spawn point, and in by default this is false, and we are going to edit this value by public function. And in the private string set spawn location, and by default this is spawn location is default spawn point, and this will be a empty game object, and I'll explain it to in later. And there's a serialized field to get the set spawn point, which is also a string. So I already explained the wake function, and this set spawn location, which is a public method, and this method will be used to set the spawn locations using some other scripts. So this is on level was loaded method. So on level was loaded method is to detect every scene load. So this function is called after a new level was loaded as per the unit documentation. So after every scene load, this will be called. So we are going to print this one location, and if the level is greater than 1, we are going to find a game object called default spawn point, and in this case we are going to rename this as spawn location, and we get the transform of the default spawn point game object, and that transform will be used to instantiate our player. And after that we are going to reset our location. After that if the level is equal to 1, this should be if the level is greater than 1, this should be set a spawn point. It can be default spawn point or some other one. So if the level is equal to 1, we are going to we are checking whether it is a set spawn point or not. If it is a set spawn point, we are going to call spawn at set location. If not, spawn at start. So let's go to spawn at start method. This is a private method, and yeah, let's see. So we don't we don't need to put private, but for clarity I will put private here. So spawn at start means we got the default point, and we are searching for default spawn point game object, and we get the transform, and using that default point position, we are going to instantiate our player. So what happened if you ask what happened in the reset location, the we reset the spawn location default spawn point and set point to false. Then is we have to discuss set spawn at set location. So here what we are going to do is we are going to find set spawn location, which is a string given by this public function. And yeah, so here we are going to set instantiate our player using this spawn point. So let's go to Unity and let's go inside the our initial scene, which is the first scene, and I'm going to create empty game object and name it as rename this as spawn manager. I hope you can see this. If not, I'll little bit zoom like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this spawn manager script inside this spawn manager. So let's do it. So let's drag and drop this spawn manager script to spawn manager game object. And yeah, so here we have to drag and drop our game object like this, and we can so this we will make this variable a private one, so it is already private, and we will remove this set spawn point serialized field keyword. And here we have to drag and drop our player. So your player should be prefab, and so let's search the prefab, sorry, player capsule. So it is this, so let's open it. So player camera root is missing here, so let's go to scenes and go to scene number 1, and here we have our own player capsule, and I'll make it a prefab. So for that I'll create another folder and name it as prefab, and drag and drop this into prefab folder and make it a new prefab variant. And if we go inside that, we in the camera root we have scene machine virtual camera. So let's go back and go to scene number 1, which is our first scene, and go to spawn manager and let's search so we can't search it, just go to prefab folder and drag and drop this here. Okay. So let's play our game and see what will happen. So you are trying to read input using the Unity game engine. Okay, it's Unity error, and object reference not set into a game object. So this error is getting from here, so there is no object called default spawn point. So let's stop the game and go to project and go to scene number room number 1, and we have to remove this player capsule because we are going to spawn it using the script. And here we have to do one thing, create empty, and we have to give this default spawn point name to this empty game object like this. And let's reset this one, and yeah, so let's move this from here to here like this. So now our player should be spawned, inside this room, because that default spawn point is located here. So let's see whether it is correct point or not. Let's drag it bit here. So it's fine now. So let's first go to this first scene and let's play. Yeah, so it worked as we wanted, and player is spawned inside the room. So using this script we can change our player spawn location. So finally we will create some kind of door here and spawn our player in the room number 2. So here I'll copy this one and paste it here, the environment, and we need to create another empty game object, and I'll name this as room 2 door 1. So I'll reset this object to this empty game object to here. So yeah, let's make it here on top of the building. Okay, now it should be loaded in this location, and I'm going to copy this part, and I also need to create another script, and let's create a command script called do, and let's open it in Visual Studio like this and double click. So I hope you can see all the things, and yeah, so I'm going to on trigger enter. So if other dot tag equals player. So before that I need to show one thing here. The player here this one is tagged as player. So what we have to check the player, and if the other dot tag equals player, we are going to spawn in scene number 2 using sys unity engine dot scene management. We are going to load scene number 2. Scene manager dot load scene. So we are going to load scene number 2, but before that we are going to set the spawn location. So we have a singleton instance, so here we have to set spawn location. So spawn manager dot instance dot set spawn location, and we have to pass the spawn location. So this spawn location should be about private. It should be a string. So yeah, before the load before loading the scene number 2, we have to save the spawn location. So it will reset the spawn location. So for that we have to attach this. We are in the room number 2 and we have to go to room number 1. Let's save this one and create new create not empty one, we have to create empty cube here and we have to make it like a door. First reset this one and let's drag it to here like this. Now it is fine, and we have to add the collider, and collider is already added here, and we have to make a is triggered true. So this will be our door, and let's attach door script into this component, this game object, and rename this as door. So here we have to set the spawn location. So let's go to room number 2. First we have to save and go to room number 1 and paste our name here. So that's all, and let's play our game. So we have spawned in this location, which is our default set location, and this is the door. You can see it, and let's go inside, and so scene 2 was loaded, and I can see some issue. So the player is not loaded here, so there is some issue and we have to check. Yes, here the issue is it is not loaded here. So what we can do is we have to rename this one here, set the spawn point. Now it should be working. So let's go to the game again and exit from the game. Go to first scene, let's play. So we have loaded the game, and this is the door, and let's go inside. So player is loaded, but the camera has some issue. So I figured the issues this in the room 1 the main camera has seen a machine brain, but this in the camera inside the room 2 doesn't have it, and so let's remove the camera and paste the room 1's camera here. So now it should be working and all should be good. So it will load the second it will load our game like this, and we loaded the game and it's working fine. This is scene number 2 and all good. So let's play our game again. This is main menu, and we have loaded in our first room, and let's go inside and go to room number 2, and yeah, we are in the on the top of the roof. I spawned there as we expected, and yeah. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video and got some new thing, and if you think this is a good video and you enjoy it, please thumbs up and share this video among your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel, and see you in another tutorial like this. Bye.